Okay, guys, for reading today, we're still talking about argumentative text and persuasive text and how authors and writers can use different language, different tools and words to persuade someone to do something or convince someone to do something. So yesterday we talked a lot about Martin Luther King and how during his speech he was very confident. He used very good language. What he was saying was very clear. He used really clear words. So those were all some good techniques like for debating and things like that. Today we're going to look at a little bit different kind of argumentative text, and we're going to talk about fact and opinion. So things that are true and we can prove true or false if they're can be proven. Opinion is more like kind of how you feel about something or what you think about something, but it can't really be proved. All right, so an argumentative text, authors of argumentative text or persuasive text attempt to convince an audience to take action or to change beliefs or habits. Arguments include a claim or opinion statement that the author supports or defends. So, like yesterday with Martin Luther King, we heard his claim. We heard what he was saying, that Black people weren't being treated fairly, and he had a really, really strong feelings about that. So that was his claim. And then he gives reasons. He gave reasons of why in different places where they weren't being treated fairly. So reasons are statements of why the author makes his or her claim. If you're going to argue and have a say in something, you have to be able to tell why and talk about your reasons. You also need to make sure you have facts and details that support reasons and make your arguments stronger. So if you're going to argue with your friend about the best kind of candy, your friend says the best kind of candy is Reese's, and you say the best kind of candy is Laffy Taffy. Okay, well, you can't just say, well, it tastes good. That's not really a strong argument. You have to be able to say why you think it's better. That could be one of your reasons, maybe, but that's not really a very strong argument. You could say there's more flavors of Laffy Taffy than there are of Reese's, or you like the colors, or different things like that. But you have to be able to support your argument. You can't just say it and then think people are going to start believing you. You have to be really powerful with what you're saying and tell people why. Why should they agree with what you're telling them? So the purpose of our argumentative text is to make a reader think or act a certain way. So if I want to convince you of something, I want you to do it my way, or I want you to believe the same things that I do. Sorry, guys. I want you to think the same way that I do or believe the same beliefs that I do. That's why I would come into an argument with you, because I don't agree with what you're saying. The text structure, you would be order of importance, the problem and solution, or the cause and effect. So an example, if you were going to write an argumentative story or text, you have your introduction telling your claim or your opinion. So what is it that you're trying to convince someone else of? One reason why you think that that's the right way to go, and then details supporting it. You can't just say it without giving details and providing more information for it. And then you give another reason with more details. Now, the opposing opinion, which is someone else that doesn't agree with what you're saying. You do need to talk about their opposing opinion. Well, they think this, but here's why that's wrong. You need to be able to tell why their opinion is weak. It's not as strong as yours, so that people will start believing yours a little bit more. And you see this a lot, like when you're watching presidential debates or the vice presidential debates on TV. One person will kind of pick on the other person, not them personally, but on their ideas or their beliefs, their policies. They might say, well, he thinks this, and that's not right. They'll kind of go about that and pick on the things that they don't agree with about you. And then in your conclusion, you'll restate your claim and your opinion. So like we saw yesterday in the brain pop, they might do a lot of repetition, say the same thing over and over again. They might appeal to your logics or your emotions. If they can say something that's going to make you feel what they're saying, that's a really good tactic when you're debating or things like that. Vivid language, like lots of details, really describe how you're feeling or what you're seeing so that the person listening can do the same thing. So those are all really important features for argumentative. Different kind of text than what we've seen before, but it is really important. All right, so fact and opinion come in when we're talking about argumentative text. Some things you're going to say that are true, facts that can be proven. So if we're in the fact column over here, can be proven, measured, or observed. There's ways to prove it with research, or you can see it. You can actually prove it by looking at it. So if we're going to talk about Skittles here, A fact about Skittles is Skittles are a type of candy. That's true. Skittles are a type of candy. And they come in different colors. We can see that they come in different colors. It's true. Now, an opinion, opinions are different. Opinion is when you're sharing someone's thoughts, feelings, or emotions. Clue words would be like love, hate, favorite, fun, things that are more about just you and how you're feeling about something. So Skittles are my favorite candy. I can't really prove that. No one can prove that. That's more of an opinion. And then red Skittles taste the best. That's something that can't be proven either. You can say it, but there's no way for really anybody to prove that red Skittles taste the best because everyone likes a different taste. Okay, so I'm going to read through these, and since it's a video, once I read it, you can just pause the video, think in your head for a minute, is this a fact or is this an opinion? And then unpause and I'll tell you the answer. Okay, so the first one, many people are afraid to ride on roller coasters. So go ahead and pause and think about that. Is that a fact or is that an opinion? Is that something that we can prove? Okay, so many people are afraid to ride on roller coasters. I can't really prove it completely. We can say, yeah, a couple of people are afraid, but maybe they're not riding because they don't feel good, or maybe there could be other reasons. It's not really something we can prove. Okay, we can't go and pull up research and do data on that specific thing. All right, the next one. My neighbor Stephen bought a dog and named it Sammy. Think about that. Is that true or false? Can we go to Stephen's house and see that he has a dog and he named it Sammy? Yes, that is a fact. We can go and see it. To where many people are afraid of roller coasters, we can't really go and see that. We might see people not on roller coasters, but we don't know why they're not on. I can go to Stephen's house. He has a dog and his name is Sammy. I can prove it. So that's going to be a fact. Okay, the next one. Everyone wishes they could travel to Europe at some point. Okay, true or false, fact or opinion. Okay, it's definitely not a fact because we can't really see or do research on what people are wishing or hoping to do. We can't prove that. So that one's an opinion. Okay, my favorite flavor of ice cream is mint chocolate chip. Fact or opinion? That's going to be an opinion because you can't really prove that. We don't know what your favorite is. Timothy earned an A on his last math test. A fact or opinion? That's a fact. We can prove it. We can go to his teacher. We can look at his report card. We can look at a grade and see that he got an A on his math test. That's a fact. Summer is the best season of the year because there's no school. It's definitely an opinion. That's the way someone feels about school in summer. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in December of 1941. Fact or opinion? That's a fact. We can look it up and do research. The great white shark is the largest shark in the ocean. Fact or opinion? It's a fact. We can look it up and compare it to the other sharks in the ocean. Cutting in a straight line is difficult when you're tired. Fact or opinion? That's going to be an opinion. We can't really prove that. We don't know why people might be having a hard time cutting. Right? And then cutting out coupons is a great way to save money. That one's a little tricky, fact or opinion. But I'm going to go with opinion. We can't really prove it. We can't really see something and say, oh, yeah, well, that's true. It might be a way to save money, but we don't know if it's a great way. It might be a difficult way, a challenging way. It just depends on the person. So that's more of an opinion. All right, so we're going to watch this video really quick before we get to our Schoology assignment. Okay, so they're talking about the different ways. They're both trying to persuade people to come to their lemonade stand. So this is the kind of language and strategies you would use to persuade people one way or another. Oh man, our video's not going to load. This happened last time too. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'll try and reload it, and if I can get it to work, I'll put it in Schoology so you can see kind of how they're using persuasive language, but it's not loading here in my video. Okay, I'll work on that and try to put it in Schoology. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, maybe because I'm not logged in. Let's try that. Maybe now it will work. There we go. Okay, so that was just saying when you're trying to just persuade someone to do something, you have to back it up. You have to give them some good, valid reasons. All right, so your last thing you're going to do is go to reading. You're going to go to our week. You'll go to Thursday, and you have a fact and opinion activity to do. You're going to look through these sentences and decide, is that a fact or is that an opinion? Is that something that I can prove with research and have a definite answer? I can see it. Or is it something that someone just feels? So my father makes the most delicious spaghetti dinners in the world. Is that something we can prove? If you can prove it, it's a fact. If you can't prove it, it's going to be an opinion. So you'll go through the rest of these and just click the drop down, fact or opinion. My class, you're also going to need to read your 20 minutes of independent reading time and fill out your reading log. And then you're done for the day. Email me and let me know if you have any questions.